Hi, everybody. I am Mrs. Hackman, and I am the seventh grade counselor here at Kings Junior High. And Mrs. Apple and I actually loop with our students. So I will be going up to eighth grade with this current seventh grade class. So that's why I'm the one to talk to you about eighth grade scheduling and all of the details about how this works. So let's kind of dive into it right off the bat. In eighth grade, we have 3 teams. Our teams are 8 red, 8 white, and 8 blue. They are the same names as our seventh grade teams because they are our school colors. Students' team placement in seventh grade does not dictate their team placement in eighth grade. So for instance, if you are on 7 red in seventh grade, then that does not necessarily mean that you will be on 8 red in eighth grade. Our school day starts at 7:30 and ends at 2 p.m. There are six bells per day, 4 core academic classes: language arts, math, science, and social studies. You'll have 2 encore classes each day. You'll have impact, and you'll have your grade level lunch. So your day will look pretty similar to 7th grade if you were here at the junior high. Our academic core classes are language arts or accelerated language arts, pre-algebra, high school honors algebra 1 or high school honors geometry, 8th grade social studies, and 8th grade science. Our students are placed in their accelerated classes based on a lot of information. So for language arts, students are placed in an accelerated language arts class based on common classroom assessments, AIR scores, MAP scores, and grades. Students' math placement is based upon the class that they took in 7th grade. So students who took Honors Algebra 1 in 7th grade will take High School Honors Geometry in 8th grade. Students taking Accelerated 7th grade Math this year in 7th grade will take High School Honors Algebra. And students who are taking 7th grade Math will take 8th grade Pre-Algebra. If you have questions about your math placement or your child's math placement, please be sure to reach out to your child's current math teacher. So we have encores. You have 2 bells of them a day, and we have split them into 2 different categories. We have our semester encores, which is half of the year. So students who are in semester encores will take them either from August to December or from after winter break starting in January through May. So that's what a semester class is. It's half of the year, every day for half the year. And those class options are art, high school PE, high school health, high school integrated computer applications, Project Lead the Way automation and robotics, and Project Lead the Way medical detectives. Please bear in mind that some students will be recommended to take a specific class based on their district and state data. And those classes might either be Quest or guided intervention. And I'll get to that a little bit later in the presentation. We also have year-long options for our encores. We'll have band, percussion, and strings. And those classes do require previous experience. If you're interested in taking those classes, but you do not have previous experience, we ask that you reach out to those music teachers and discuss what it would be like to enter a class, one of these classes without experience. You could take choir, beginners, high school Spanish 1, high school Spanish 1, high school accelerated Spanish 1, high school French 1, if there's room, high school German 1, if there's room, Quest, which is a required class for students who have qualified, or guided intervention, which is scheduled by intervention specialists. So let's talk a little bit more about those Spanish options. We do offer 3 different high school Spanish offerings here at the junior high. The first one is High School Spanish 1. This class is for students who took intro in 7th grade and were recommended to take high school Spanish in 8th grade. We offer Accelerated Spanish 1. This class is for students who took intro in 7th grade and really excelled in that program. Accelerated Spanish 1 moves quickly through the Spanish 1 curriculum and prepares students for Honors Spanish 2 the following year. And the third option that we have is Beginner High School Spanish. And this class is for students who did not take Intro to Spanish in 7th grade who don't have previous Spanish experience. And be aware, much like all of our Encore classes, spaces are limited in that beginner high school Spanish class. So the first two options, High School Spanish 1 and Accelerated Spanish 1, are based on teacher recommendation. So if you or your child took first semester Intro to Spanish, you've already received your recommendation for 8th grade Spanish placement. If you are currently taking Spanish 1, you will receive your recommendation soon. As I said, we have two different additional foreign language options, and these two options are taken at the high school with high school students. It's High School French 1 and High School German 1. In the past, we've had spots in those high school classes to provide some students the opportunity to take these classes, but priority is given to King's High School students, and we'll determine how much space we have based on the requests from the high school. But once again, these are two classes that are taken at the high school with high school students. As I stated previously, Quest is a class that is a year-long class, and it supports students in language arts and or math. It builds skills that will translate into success in other classes, and it is not a study hall. Students are placed in Quest based on MAP scores, AIR scores, and teacher recommendation. Scores used for placement indicate that students are not on track to pass the state assessments, the end of course exams, or college and career ready scores on the ACT or SAT without intervention. This is a mandatory class for those who qualify, and parents of qualifying students will receive an email before February 16th. Quest is a 2-semester class. It will take the place of an Encore, so it's a year-long class, and students' progress will be tracked, and students that meet performance goals will be able to choose to take an Encore in its place. We do offer Encores here for high school credit. So these are classes that will go towards graduation requirements from high school. French 1, which is a year-long class. Our Spanish offerings here are Accelerated Spanish, High School Spanish 1, and Beginner Spanish 1. Those are year-long classes and for high school credit. And our German class is a year-long class that is for high school credit. Then we have our 3-semester classes, which are Integrated Computer Applications, Health, and Physical Education. Those are semester classes also for high school credit. Please be aware, though, that physical education will only fulfill the King's High School graduation requirement when paired with another high school PE class, not a sport. And beginning in 2017, the district initiated a policy that states that any student taking any high school classes, that those grades will permanently remain on their high school transcript. So when you're choosing scheduling and Encore options, we need to make sure that you keep in mind that you're trying to fill 2 bells in both semesters. So this can be achieved through one of the following combinations. You can choose 2 all-year classes. That will meet the requirement. You could choose 1 all-year class and 2 semester classes, or you could choose 4 semester classes. So when you're filling out your course selection sheet, please make sure that you are choosing the correct number of Encores to fill 2 semesters of 2 bells in each semester. Please bear in mind that your Encore course selections do not guarantee placement in those classes. We do our best to accommodate everyone's interests and everyone's selections, but it is extremely likely that you will be placed in 1 or more alternate Encore choices. So when you're filling out your course selection sheet, please choose at least 2 alternative choices. Students who do not provide an alternative choice will be placed in any available Encore class if your requested Encore classes are not available. I gave you a lot of information about our Encore choices and our core classes. And if you want more description on what those classes are, you can find our KJH course selection guide on our King's Local website, if you go to kingslocal.net and choose schools and go to Kings Junior High, you'll scroll down on the left and it'll say the KJH course selection guide. In that guide, it will provide for you an overview of all of the classes that we offer here at the junior high, so you know what you're choosing when you choose both your core and your encore classes. So let's talk about this course selection sheet. This year it is blue, and students will get their course selection sheet at school the first time they watch this video. So this is the top of the course selection sheet, and as you can see, they are due on February 23rd to your student's team leader. Also, if you look down, we're asking students to choose their core classes. If your student is choosing an accelerated class, then we need to have a teacher initial next to that selection. This indicates that your child has been recommended to take that class. Then at the bottom of the front, it talks about that combination of encore classes that you need to choose to fulfill to complete your schedule. And it also provides for you our year-long choir, band, strings, percussion, music options. Now here it says, if you do not have experience in those 3 music classes, you can still take those classes, but we do ask that you check in with those music teachers to make sure that you've had a conversation of what that will look like and how you can catch up on that curriculum. On the back of that blue sheet are our year-long and our semester classes. So please make sure that when you're choosing your encore choices, you're aware if they're year-long or semester class. At the top lists our foreign language, and then our intervention classes, and then it ends with our semester classes. If the class is for high school credit, it is indicated next to that selection. So just be aware of that as well. Also, that's where it talks about, at the bottom of this paper, it talks about the alternate encore choices. This is where you want to put your alternate choices. Please remember that they shouldn't be selected at the top, because those are your first choices. The alternates are choices that you are okay with taking if you don't get those ones that you selected as your initial choices. And at the bottom of the back asks for adult signature, contact information, student signature, and the date. And once again, it gives the date when we need to have these course selection sheets by. So once again, students will turn in their completed course selection sheets with parent signature, any teacher initials needed for accelerated courses by Friday, February 23rd to their team leader. And I have it there a couple of times because I want to make sure that we have those in by Friday, February 23rd. If you don't have those in, then we might get to a point where we are choosing your encore classes for you. So please make sure that you turn those in so you can get the classes that you would like. So now let's dive into some frequently asked questions that we hear from students when they're choosing their classes for next year. Am I guaranteed placement in my recommended core class? Yes, yes. If you are recommended to take a specific core class, whether it's accelerated or our traditional 7th grade classes, you will have a space in those classes. So yes, absolutely. My teacher didn't recommend me for an accelerated class. Can I still sign up? We really do believe that our teachers are experts in their subject area and are really good at determining if students will be successful in an accelerated class. If you and your family disagree after talking with that teacher, please fill out the course selection change form. You can contact me to discuss this and get a copy of the form. Does one 8th grade team have all of the accelerated students? Nope. All of the 8th grade teams are pretty evenly numbered, with students taking accelerated and traditional classes. Do I need to take high school credit as an 8th grader? Absolutely not. Nope. We offer these classes, but you can wait until high school to take them. You will not be behind if you do not take any high school credit classes in 8th grade. If you choose to take a high school credit class, though, it's important you do well because that grade will be on your high school transcript. My friend, sibling, neighbor said I should pick a certain team. Can I request a specific team? No. All of our teams in 8th grade and 7th grade are phenomenal. And we need to keep our teams balanced so that class sizes aren't too large. It's complicated to schedule all of our Kings Junior High students into the classes they request. And for these reasons and a ton of others, we cannot allow team requests. If you have a special circumstance, please contact me or an administrator to discuss it. Can I change my mind about the classes I'm taking? We build our master schedule based on what students choose on their course selection sheets. This means that we decide how many of each class is needed based on what you choose. So if you change your mind, there might not be availability in the class that you want to take because we didn't plan on you being there. Can I choose the order of my classes? No, your requests are put into our scheduling program and it decides the order of the classes for each student that allows the most people to have their requests. I was recommended for Quest. Do I have to take it? Yes. Quest recommendations are based on AIR and MAP scores as well as teacher recommendations. Students are placed in Quest because of their test scores, and those test scores are used for placement to indicate that students are not on track to pass the state assessments, the end of course exams in high school, or receive college readiness scores on the ACT or the SAT without intervention. Do my course selections guarantee placement in encore classes? No. What you put on your course selection sheet for your encore classes does not guarantee that you will take those classes. We do our very best to get as many students their requests as we can. And sometimes we don't have the space in the building or we don't have enough teachers to accommodate your requests. And sometimes there's a conflict with the schedule or with your schedule that doesn't allow all of your requests to work. It's important to put alternative choices for encores in case your first choices don't work. There are no alternative encores I want to put as my alternate choices. What should I do? Space is limited in many of our encore classes. Please try to pick some, even if they're not your top choices. If you don't put an alternative choice or choices, we ask for 2, we will put you in whatever class has the most space. Can I rank my encore choices to ensure I'm placed in my top choice? No. The scheduling program gives equal priority to all encore choices and creates a schedule that allows the most students to receive their requests. So those are a lot of the questions that were asked. If you have any other questions or you would like some clarification on some things, please reach out to me. Students, I am available in the cafeteria most lunches. Parents, you can reach out to me via email or phone if you need anything. But otherwise, we've had a great year with your students in 7th grade, and I'm looking forward to another wonderful year next year. I hope you have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.